Rob Lowe is joining us right now. Mr. Romantic, pulling off the ultimate coup right there.
That's so cool, man. So how'd you keep it a secret, and what did you tell her when you were arriving on the lot? What did you have to do?
I'd convinced her that we had to go to a big television studio to film a documentary that I was paying for about her life in honor of this birthday. So that's how I got her on the soundstage.
That's good.
and it's a good one, right?
Yeah.
And she bought it, hook, line, and sinker, right up into. She got on the stage and still didn't realize what was going on.
Yeah.
It was so like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't see later on what happened. How'd she do?
Oh, we crushed it. We were down at one point 247 points to nothing.
Whoa.
And we came all the way back and won the entire thing based on her brilliant ability to play this game.
See, when you do moves like that, I don't think you need a holiday to
Yes, you
show
do.
your love. No, you don't.
Yes,
if you do. If you do a Rob Lowe surprise your wife on Family Feud,
You have to
me,
double down.
No, that surpasses. You get a hall pass on Valentine's Day, Rob.
Yeah, I have to say I outdid myself because she's also really hard to surprise, really hard. And I pulled it off. I swore I'm not gonna try to surprise her ever again. I'm declaring victory and staying off the field.
That's good. That's good.
But
That's the
take
move.
you as a romantic fella. Give me something throughout the years that you do. Like, are you a note leaver, like little Post-its everywhere? What do you do that's romantic?
I mean, it's funny. My wife would tell you that I should write more romantic notes, but then again, you can never satisfy wives. Come on, we all know this.
That's true. Real talk.
I definitely, for the holidays, try to go the extra mile and the special occasions for sure.
I love that.
That's awesome, man. Well, this is really cool. You're a spokesperson. I wanted to get to this for Atkins, Rob. And how you keeping from snacking on everything during March Madness and during all these festive holidays and what have you?
They know me so well. My partners at Atkins, they knew the Super Bowl was coming up, and so we have new protein chips, nacho cheese.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like to cheat. I
Nacho
like
mama.
the fun stuff in life.
Yes.
So now I finally, God bless them, this is what they did for my early birthday. My own little nacho cheese protein chips, low on net carbs, and you can have fun. That's why I like working with them, because they give me peanut butter cups. Now this.
Good to go,
I'm
man.
with you. I love the Atkins as well. It's so good. But I was telling Mario before we went on, how's hot dad doing? I don't mean to sound like creepy woman, but
tell us
about your hot dad. How's he doing?
My hot dad, by the way, is 81.
Wow.
And still in great shape, still doing his thing. When I grow up, I want to be my dad. He's great, and he loves when people still whistle at him on the street.
That's incredible.
Some good genetics right there, man. Now, yesterday, Rob, you had an ad in the Super Bowl where you reprised your role as number 2 from Austin Powers. How was it putting that eye patch back on? The
eye patch still fits. It was so fun. I get starstruck around Dr. Evil. I really do. When Mike is a friend, and I've known him and I love him. But when he's Dr. Evil, I get like a little kid. I'm so excited to be around Dr. Evil because it's one of my favorite characters of all time. So when they asked us to put the gang back together, I was super psyched, and I love how much people have loved it because I loved it.
Speaking of dads, Robert Wagner was your dad. Isn't that correct me if I'm not right?
Robert, well, I'm playing him.
Oh, you're
younger.
playing him. That's what it was.
Same.
That's what it was. Would they say, okay, because I knew there was a Robert Wagner, because I could totally see that.
Well, this role was so fun. Right. I like these wild comedies that you've done, from Tommy Boy to this. Was there ever a time in your career, Rob, where agents were like, no, you got to go, the more serious roles that you do as well? Did anybody ever try to deter you from these great roles?
No, I mean, there was a time when, if you can imagine, people tried to deter me from hosting Saturday Night Live the first time I did it. It was when Saturday Night Live really, really, truly only had funny people on it. Now they've expanded who they'll have. But in the old days, you had to be a hitter to be on that show. And they asked me to do it years ago. My agent's like, I don't know, it's risky. You could bomb, which is true. But I loved it. And the fact that I get to do both is great. Because I would get bored if I was pigeonholed as just a dramatic actor or just as a comic actor.
Yeah, get to flex those creative muscles.
Yeah.
HBO Max is coming out with a series about the Showtime era of the Lakers. What was your role at that time?
Oh, you were front court, my friend.
I was front court, and I am not. There's no Rob Lowe character in it, which I think might be the good news. I don't know if I need anybody dramatizing the hijinks I was up to in the '80s at Showtime, but I know that all of my friends in Laker world are on pins and needles to see how they're portrayed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something. I can't wait. But I'll be the final arbiter of how realistic it is, because I was there.
You were there.
And that was the glory time. It doesn't get much better than what it was like back in the 80s.
Rob, I like your move, though, when you go to football games and you just rock the NFL hat.
I love them all.
Just the league.
In the spirit of bipartisanship,
Right.
I rock the NFL hat. Although at the Super Bowl, I did finally choose a team, and I chose the Rams. But the NFL hat. By the way, it's the coolest hat ever.
It is
it's
a
just
good hat.
sleek with just the shield on it. Just as a fashion choice, it's pretty strong.
Strong.
It is. It was just so
Very
many
strong.
funny memes. It was funny.
Rob Lowe, starring in the hit Fox 911 Lone Star. Rob, I just finished the scene for you there, but what can we look forward to this season? I love all the action.
Well, yeah, just watching that clip, I go, geez, our show looks big. It looks like a big movie, which I'm super proud to do on a television schedule. It's the scope of it keeps me excited. So much action going on, so beautifully shot. I have a little love interest that's we got introduced last week's show, and that's going to sort of turn into something very unexpected. We've got a stalker storyline coming up, very scary and dangerous. And what I love about the show is you never know what you're going to get in any given week. We kind of do it all.
That's awesome. And you also have a new podcast, Parks and Recollection. Fun title. Who do you do the show with?
So my co-host is Alan Yang, who wrote on every single episode of Parks and Recreation and was also a producer. So he brings the stories of the scripts and what the ideas were and who decided what the characters should be saying and doing. And I bring the sort of what happened, in the makeup, hair, and wardrobe and behind the scenes. And we just break down every single episode of that show that everybody loves so much. And super, super fun. People really like it, and I love doing it.
I love your podcast, literally. And last time you and I spoke, what I love, not only you're a great interviewer, you're a very good listener, Rob Lowe. These are very good interviews. You just had Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall on. What was the takeaway from that? Because, God, that was my childhood right there.
Well, it's fun when I do people from that era. It's fun to do the Jennifer Anistons and the, and the Matthew McConaughey's. But when I get people from that era, I get to go, am I crazy? Or do you remember that time?
Yeah.
And then we fill in the blanks for each other. It's like if you were to run into your friends from high school, you'd be like, do you remember that teacher who was a jerk? And it makes me realize, no, I'm not crazy. All of those stories happened. And so it's a great walk down memory lane whenever I have sort of, the 80s folks on.
Love those stories. Those are so much fun. On Literally, you have a section called The Lowdown where people get to call in and ask you questions. We were, as a matter of fact, able to get a couple of the calls, the real calls, not made up. So let's get started, please.
This is Mitt Mover from Atlanta, and I wanted to know, who was your first crush?
Oh, you're going to laugh. But if I'm just being totally honest, and by the way, if you're going to have a podcast, you just got to be honest. There's no artifice. You're not thinking about what's going to be funny. Totally honesty. It was the cute female cat in the Aristocats.
Wow.
Meow, Rob.
Wait a minute. I kind of like
She
that.
had
I was like,
good lashes.
I just remember being. I would have been like, I did the math. I would have been like 4.5, and going to the Aristocats saying, I like the girl cat. I'm like, yeah, no kidding, kid.
Wait, I believe her name was Duchess.
Duchess, okay.
Yes, Duchess.
Dang, Dutch. I don't feel so bad about my Jessica Rabbit crush now. All
Okay,
right.
see?
I don't feel so bad. All right.
All right, we got another caller. Hit it. This is Get Gover from LA. I just want to know, was there a role you missed out on that still haunts you today?
Wow. I mean, you know, I've talked in the past about turning down McDreamy on Grey's Anatomy, which is still on the air. But if I'd have not done that, I wouldn't have done Parks and Recreation. You know, I wouldn't be on Lone Star. I wouldn't have done Behind the Candelabra. I mean, you know, so it all kind. I have a friend who ran a studio for many years, and he talks about the movies he made and the movies he didn't make. Mm-hmm. And we agree that over time, it all equals out. The hits, the bombs, the flops. So other than that, there hasn't been one, but even that I wouldn't redo because it enabled me to do so many things that I love.
Did you do a John Hughes movie? I'm trying to think in my mind right now because everybody thinks St. Elmo's was a John Hughes movie, but it was not.
You talk about it a lot in your books. That's why I enjoyed reading the books.
Yeah. I auditioned for The Breakfast Club for the role that Judd Nelson got.
I could see
and
that.
I didn't get it.
We've got one last caller. I don't believe it's Git again, so let's hear who it is.
Hi, this is Luigi Lopez from Chula Vista, California, and I just want to know, are there any more chips? I heard they're bomb.
Chips for everybody.
You tell me.
That was the last one.
Chips. Hit us.
You tell me you guys are feeding your faces like there's no tomorrow over there.
These are nice. These goes down easy. Rob, thank you so much for your time,
we
man.
love you.
Always great to see you. And thanks for the grub. Listen, 911 Lodestar airs Monday nights at 8 on Fox.